Yabeda ahwefo ase ni asese mo begimre ne de update ayensa kan Ghana ha ne amano nsem nyina yemfa emrem ha Pinax TV. Now yes, yen call quickly to the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Nim se sie de omo ena omo ensem ho apaso se sie ya ye twe na basa ne sere. Na ene se the Foreign Affairs Ministry omo de kokobo aba de ama Ghana fo nyina mo amututu kwan ko baabi no se South Africa de se as we speak now enye an ideal place so betu kwan de akọ so on your screens. Government advises Ghanaians against non-essential travel to South Africa until further notice. And until say besa clear say South Africa your maya Ghana ni ubetimi etu kwan akọ no mo bia entu ni nan ensi South Africa say me etu kwan akọ ho say enye akwantu ehu hia obi ho a okọ straight to hospital okọ hwe no ho yare obi ho a business bia also okọ hwe na odi hu dwuma say enye essential non-essential travels to South Africa enye na mekọ akọdwodwo me ho mekọ vacation ni ade na say ye de betu dwa say omo menka say tourism omo ababonten tourism in South Africa ababonten say most of African countries omo tour na was enkomo ba South Africa omo cancel. Yes indeed, because the place is not safe in the midst of xenophobic attacks. I ekoso no Ghana Foreign Affairs Ministry the update about chirimu say ene de due free ne kono say wo akwantu obi tu so obekọ South Africa. It is not ideal so obekọ akopiem South Africa because ene me ekoso ho no enya de se eho da kwemu ye nti e wo say akopiem South Africa enti no ena ma Foreign Affairs Ministry de krata tenten ede ababeto monten so a eno no mo de bokoko se Ghana ni ana wo ye Ghana ni de share entu nan emfa nko South Africa. So 1st June 2026, the government or say a travel advisory, Ministry of Foreign Affairs travel advisory, Accra 1st June 2026. The government of Ghana, the government of the Republic of Ghana has observed with great concern the increasing xenophobic attacks in South Africa targeted at Africans by groups presenting themselves as anti-immigrant vigilantes, which have resulted in degrees of injuries, closure, and takeover of businesses, looting, and loss of properties. We there, bet me I say, nyina ye nimsem, enyema ekoso ewo South Africa, ebi ena krata yi ebobo so de akere ye nunti ama South Africa abe unsafe for other Africans. No matter your country of origin, se uye bibini nkwa no akopim South Africa. Wasubetimi ayeshi because omuhu ne se mojo omadwuma moma omo adwuma enkoso ene ade enti amanfo prepra ebi mu shops ye tutum ye betum kekekra na de amawa ebi mu ram esesam niema e di free shop nim free of charge obi ankoyere omo ene ade enti ye de abetudwa se eho enye safe so betu kwan across South Africa. The Mahama administration has taken a number of steps including conveying formal protests at the highest diplomatic level, summoning the South African Acting High Commissioner in Accra, petitioning the African Union and evacuating our nationals. Enti omuchemu aban edin siseye akese pa na egu akwan mu a ama omobehwe se omobetimi de aka ensem a ekoso South Africa no omobetimi de aka de afri ho ebi ni se omatonsa de afri de afre South African High Commissioner a owo Ghana ha omo atonsa de afre no ama wababe piem ama omo ne dinkomo sanso na omo de hye egu akwan mu a omo ede Ghana de hye omo South Africa omo de omo back to Ghana enti ni nyina e kan hye na omo aye ne ho. The government of Ghana hereby advises Ghanaian nationals to exercise extreme caution in their travel plans and avoid non-essential travel to South Africa until further notice. Enti edika boso de amamo say omo de abetudwa and as Foreign Affairs Ministry de abetudwa say non-essential travels e kontu ehun hia me kosra madamfo me call for tourism any ade ehun hia se ko South Africa enti sisi ade omne kokobo kese ade abagene nationals in the country are urged to maintain regular contact with the Ghana High Commission for consular services. Enti omchemu a wo South Africa ye nyamfa wo mepie mo Ghana na wo ho na hwe na wo entowo regularly and as emrano brand no Ghana High Commission no never won some eto omanim na omo advice omo tool for us to what to do eno any ensemo a omo ede aka omo krata no. The government of the Republic of Ghana will continue to collaborate with the relevant authorities of the Republic of South Africa to facilitate the evacuation of Ghanaian nationals to ensure their safety In the meantime, the government of the Republic of Ghana wishes to call on the government of the Republic of South Africa to provide adequate security for targeted groups of Africans in its territory and take measures to enforce law and order in the spirit of genuine Pan-Africanism and African integration. The government of the Republic of Ghana reiterates its commitment to prioritizing the welfare of Ghanaian nationals home and abroad. To all media houses, yes indeed, Pinax TV and so yes sir Akebi and yet Emma Mono. As we speak now, Omone South African penny for took a said a beya omwa car was you free South Africa bagan and nina or met me up one and shana akoso wano na omwa sanso asra omo se omo make sure say Ghana for any baby maya this year omo South Africans omo South Africa no omo make sure say they will protect them until say aban ever before mon call for Ghana and a set pace now see the first batch abe PM Ghana e jomo maka wo hono Ghana ban South African penny for say they should protect them na emaye nya omo ayakayaka they just because they are Africans omo akwako PM ewo South Africa enti no any update aye de ema monti Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa and Sasha Krata ya say omo de aba e de abetuja say South Africa is unsafe for you to travel enti no any update aye de ema from the Foreign Affairs Ministry enti enkoba say we mo ba na so ukọ ye den enti no ne afutuo travel advisory ye de ama Ghana for na ni nyina mu no and Foreign Affairs Ministry ede a chopa kakra aba as we speak now omo esrese CEOs omo Ghana any me can say entrepreneurs am bia nyuma ne ade no momra omo moa because see omo hia adwuma de ama first batch 300 omo be PM Ghana no. And on your screens, this is from Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa ono Foreign Affairs Minister ono the post way on X or say we urge Ghanaian CEOs and entrepreneurs to support our jobs initiative for our brothers and sisters being evacuated from South Africa. Already 120 job offers have been secured. Kindly call our delivery unit. Ghana always cares for God and country. Mo CEOs mo de nyuma no mo so ma bia mu nyuma no Mombra Foreign Affairs Ministry and among free omo delivery unit na omo enhu say aha adwuma wo ha na omo mpebi emfama omo be PM wo Ghana no already no omo so ma secure 120 job offers dada enti no omo be hwehwem mo amoba ye no wo ofata adwuma we ni e de ama wo so ofata adwuma we ni e de ama saa no mo ba be ye no enti omo sere so omo hia dodo na aka ho as we speak now they have make can say a total of make can say chichemu kra ebi a 40% and omanya nti omo hia be 60% for the first batch of 300 people no omo hwe na omo empa adwuma ma omo enti se de omo e de a chopa ba ana se omo ade sre menka na saa ene de aba beto eye adwuma mpanimfo ankrankra mo bia mu nnwuma no momfa meto omo anim na mo nkyerɛ omo se there are job offers here omo mpa bi ma yenua no a omo free South Africa ebe piem ewo Ghana no omo so enya bi na omo enye enti eno any update ayede emam from the Foreign Affairs Ministry on your screens ni nyina yede to manim dada se eka package a omo de ma omo free South Africa no eba no omo ye say they will create a database for them and make sure say omo nya adwuma aye whether it is public or private and the hands omo nya adwuma omo ye nti on your screens is a confirmation of the package omo de buy and ka ho no say job opportunities for Ghanaians being evacuated from South Africa. We invite Ghanaian CEOs and entrepreneurs desirous of employing Ghanaians returning from South Africa to contact the delivery unit of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Contacted the delivery unit of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It is where Juma ebi wo ho a wo ye sure say wo penipa wo be so fa nipa ma wo be ye adwuma na wa contact delivery unit for Ministry of Foreign Affairs na o ma be boa o ma gi details no say the be yo metin ama nipa o se fata say obeba be ye adwuma no e de ama wo omo e de nipa no e de na ma wo the delivery unit, which is led by Ambassador Alexander Grant in Trakwa, can be reached on, and that is the number obetimi afre o adwuma o person de ma yenuan mo free South Africa be PM na Foreign Affairs Ministry the number atudwa 0561108000 and you also be contact Ambassador Alexander Grant Ntrakwa na omo aboa na omo de details na ba na yehundu osafata near the number. So far we have secured 120 job opportunities from patriotic Ghanaian business owners be part of this noble project. We value and cherish all our citizens. And you know, any updates from the Foreign Affairs Ministry as we speak now, omo enya 120 job offers eguho omo yes screening ni ade omo gusu hwehwem na omo hu de sefata nom de ama omo no omo kwaso anzo asre se wo adwuma ana wo job opening bi wo baby a obefre the delivery unit na ode ama omo na enum na Foreign Affairs Ministry course so ede ensem etudwa na last week the update bre mo kire mu se omo de betudwa se nipa 300 ode omo be pie mu Ghana no emu 10 pe na documented. Foreign Affairs Ministry saying Foreign Affairs Minister Edin Sama to George Tremua no krebianim almost answer Tremua not a single Ghanaian and as I say yensa can because ye do move free airport to aba no de sembia mo antene say they were screening them to check for criminal records and say oh you obi a wadi boni bi wo South Africa ho na wudwane akwa omo make sure so mbecho nipa omo screen omo nyina for the first batch impo omo guso a ye screen omo so mbefi aba no ba kokora ni ho omo nya no se oye criminal enti wan mo na e cause our criminal activities e wo South Africa enti eno aka ho bia mo pam Africans no ye nko ne enti Foreign Affairs Minister ne nsem o de tudwa na ye mra sese.
Minister, on South Africa again, when are we bringing back the next set of Ghanaians?
Yes, so as I have announced, the final batch of Ghanaians in South Africa have all now registered. We have a little above 600. Earlier, those who wrote their names was in the region of 800, but it's clear that we'll have to go beyond that. We now are exceeding 900, but thanks to the compassionate leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he has said that all Ghanaians in harm's way, in distress, who are being harassed, being dehumanized, we should not leave anyone behind. And our foreign policy is that of compassion, is that of leaving no Ghanaian behind. And so we are going to make sure that all Ghanaians are safely taken out of harm's way. And as I have said, once the safety and the dignity of any Ghanaian anywhere in the world is affronted, you can trust that the foreign ministry, the government of Ghana will come and assist you. We do not want anybody in this world thinking that Ghanaians are orphaned, Ghanaians don't have a government, Ghanaians are not valued, are not cherished, and so they can mess around with Ghanaians. We will not accept that, and we will go all out to protect Ghanaians and to make sure that the welfare of Ghanaians is safeguarded. So I can assure you that all is set for the next batch to arrive. We're just waiting for the South African authorities to finalize our request for the flight permits so that our chartered jets can move in and bring all the Ghanaians who have registered. And let me use this opportunity to say that contrary to a lot of disinformation, misinformation, and propaganda out there, the vast majority of Ghanaians we have registered. We've looked at their documentation. These are legal migrants. Disregard all those claims that these are people who are illegal migrants. It is not true at all. And we've challenged those who are making these claims to put out the evidence. They have not been able to put out any evidence. Let me also say that what is beautiful about the registration we are doing is that we do it in collaboration with the Department of Home Affairs, the South African authorities, who are there at our High Commission to check for people who they are looking for in their database, people who are wanted, suspected criminals. And so far, not a single Ghanaian is of interest to the South African authorities. So again, this claim by some propagandists, those who seek to tarnish the image of Ghana, that our citizens were lawbreakers, people who commit crime, and people who are contributing to insecurity and instability in South Africa. The evidence does not support it. You have the security officials there with their database, their computers, with their wanted lists, checking fingerprints and all of that. And so far, not a single Ghanaian. So clearly, Ghana is not responsible for any high crime rates or any, avalanche of illegality going on in South Africa. Let me say that I am deeply proud as foreign minister, and I know President Mahama is also very, very proud of our nationals. Ghanaians everywhere they go are law-abiding. They are people who don't break laws. They are people who don't commit crime. They are people who don't foment trouble. And so they have to go and look for really those who they think are the cause of insecurity or whatever instability, even though we must all admit that even if you have concerns about insecurity, instability, high crime, this is not how you go about it. You don't use hatred. You don't take the law into your own hands and pursue people, violate their human rights. And here we are at an African foreign ministers gathering. And you've heard us talk about the foundation of the African Union, which is about free movement, which is about African integration, which is about increasing Africa trade. You heard the Director General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, who, interestingly, is a South African, my very, very good friend, my comrade Wamkele, who I must commend is not been happy at all about all of what is going on in his home country, because really it is undermining his work. We want to increase intra-Africa trade, which has been below 20% for many, many years, and amongst the lowest. It's really the lowest if you look at all continents of the world. We want to trade amongst ourselves. We want to transform our economies. And the only way we can do that is to make sure that we are welcoming of each other. We promote trade. We believe in our products. We form partnerships. And we encourage African entrepreneurship, African ingenuity, African businesses to thrive. So everything that the African Union, the OAU, African integration, what the founder of Sajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, spoke of, that Africa must unite. Unite now or we perish. This xenophobia going on, the sheer hatred for the fellow African, just because they have moved into your territory, undermines everything. It destroys everything. And it makes mockery of what the African Union stands for. And that is why Ghana strongly reaffirms our petition to the African Union. And we have been receiving a lot of support. A lot of foreign ministers who have spoken to me at this summit say that, look, Ghana, we are behind you. We support your petition. It is time for the African Union to discuss this matter, and we commend you for your leadership. So let us hope that lessons will be learned, and never again are we going to see an African take on another African violently with hatred. We should love one another. We should form partnerships. We should come together to achieve the dream of continental African unity. Therein lies our economic emancipation. Therein lies our salvation. Therein lies the opportunities which have eluded the African for many, many centuries.
Anti Korean African Summit as in a Foreign Affairs Ministry didn't say we na tuja na update I war the next batch of Ghanaians I don't be free South Africa abe PM Ghana no chirimo omo train authorities of South Africa say on be more the go ahead and answer the flight permits said the Ghana's chartered flights and be call South Africa na itimi afa Ghana this year omo according senseme will be my so no omo de omo nyina be PM ewo Ghana ha say na omo enso ababe reintegration omo asabe to abrabono so ewo Ghana ha say na ye to asem no so Ghana and South Korea as we speak now omo assigning a visa waiver agreement for a diplomatic passports and then service passport holders anti Korea African Summit ya say and a foreign affairs minister on your screens His Excellency Cho Hyun or no foreign affairs minister at the South Korea or no NSCA on your screens. You could see the pictures of time almost signing agreements no and muhu screens. So no foreign affairs ministers me know for South Korea and then Ghanaian foreign affairs minister and as we speak now ne dey omo edin sawoswa omo assigning agreements on your screens. Ghana and South Korea sign visa waiver agreement for diplomatic service passport holders. Nti eno any update e de mamo. Nti eno so akwakoye enigisem as a diplomatic passport holder and as a service passport holder. Say okos South Korea akodi dwuma bia unhia passport. Unya visa, sorry. And also have our passport. Now we try plane tickets, and our tickets that you go through the immigration process, and then you get to South Korea. That is the update. And a foreign affairs minister, Eddie too just said they are working tirelessly because and you can say diplomatic passport holders from Fonkwan Ombenya a visa waiver to South Korea. They are working. Said umbetimi enya ordinary passport holders no. Most of them tax visa waiver or South Korea. Foreign Affairs Minister the name to Jaibeko Niakutie and more bay na omutu said the beya enquire diplomatic service for Nkwa and what's our waiver no ordinary passport holders no a quite best no musu ebetimi enyasa waiver ibi. Ye koniti Foreign Affairs Minister Niemra Sisi. Enti eno foreign affairs ministers mienu a omuji tum say yes say Ghana ni ufri Ghana akopim South Korea unhia visa as a diplomatic passport holder and a service passport holder. Enti eno anytime almost signing agreements no and na yekokore enti summita foreign affairs minister ekọ South Korea no ho empopoye bi na yede mamo no na no mu na mdi tu anim say foreign affairs minister say omo boy adwuma omo making sure say as an ordinary passport holder also so to me for passport no plane tickets now call South Korea wabra uni visa. I mean onje visa and some South Korea. TNTA and some foreign affairs minister did two after some sign here you know yanko ninsem ni bina yenti ni embrasisi.
You do know that one of the key outcomes that Ghana has achieved at this summit is the visa waiver agreement, which we have signed. We are probably the only African country that has been able to negotiate that. And this is just a beginning. It is an important first step because diplomatic and service passports have now been fully covered. The next phase, the final phase, will be to bring on board ordinary passport holders. And I'm quite confident that the negotiations will end positively, and we shall bring on board all our citizens so that we can continue to add value to the Ghanaian passport. I want to use this opportunity to thank all my technical officials, including the ever dynamic Ambassador Kojo Choi, who really was on the ground doing a lot of the legwork. I told him that if this is not finalized, I'm not coming to co-chair the Korea Africa Summit. I told the head of the legal bureau the same thing, that colleagues, you guys have to deliver this. Because remember that President Mahama was here earlier in the year in March, and it was one of the discussions he had with his counterpart, the President of Korea. So the leaders task us to negotiate and make sure that this works. And sometimes diplomatic negotiations can take many years, can take decades, but colleagues will tell you at the ministry that I don't take excuses and I don't allow for delays and a laborious rigmarole. It is important that diplomacy delivers, that diplomacy is efficient, that diplomacy impacts positively in real time. Because sometimes, waiting and delaying and going through needless motions endlessly, you will find out that you are losing out in terms of the quality of life of your people, in terms of investment opportunities, tourism opportunities, trade opportunities, and it doesn't help the people. And that is why sometimes people think that diplomacy becomes too abstract and it doesn't deliver, meaningful impact. So I have a whole different concept and philosophy about diplomacy, that diplomacy can work, it can achieve results, it can be impactful once you set clear timelines, you inject efficiency, and you go all out. Other countries see that you really have a whole different mindset, and they are able to come along.
Foreign Affairs Minister Nekuti Nsema Odi Tuchano on the other side talking about diplomacy and diplomatic negotiations. When himself on the diplomatic negotiations, a bit me it can take many years, but then on take excuses. What I say, Obeko South Korea or didn't kind of to him say, and Koma a buying penny for no presidents, nobody can share wedding communi. If you are not able to finalize a diplomatic passports waivers now and our visa waivers now and he makes sure say he will find ways and means to finalize diplomatic negotiations, because the more mu delay no more channel obi we skebi kra and kabema waiver no wetimi akọ invest wo baby a na chese sika no ase lose value ni ade nti ono de ententem so no na chese yaye bibia e de free ho na owie na nso ha na osanso de nchemu ni bi kogu ex abefonten tamfidie ni so nti ye be kọ ne akan bi na ye de amamo nti we Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. Ghana and South Korea today signed a historic visa waiver agreement for holders of diplomatic and service passports. Negotiations will continue to bring on board holders of ordinary passports into Ochemwa and Komodie ne betwaso on back to negotiations. Instead of no one didn't substitute some such diplomatic conversations and negotiations and nyadia or no pain so ye beche there be ye start ya ntem na aye adwuma said be ya obi wo bibi opeso okoye wo kro ni so obi asam eye waiver no be boa no no o bibi opeso ya obeye ne ntem na when lose value in whatever that investment that they want to do. This is the first waiver agreement by our two nations in almost 50 years of former bilateral relations. South Korean Foreign Minister, His Excellency Cho Hyun, and I signed the agreement in the margins of the ongoing Africa-Korea Foreign Ministers meeting. I'm delighted we are delivering on key priorities following the working visit of President Mahama to South Korea in March this year for God and country. Nti enema omo edi to dwa somewhere match aban penifo share eno omo making sure say omo edi be ye adwuma ti omo nko gina ho nkotwen debi entem so na onya chance so obekọ Korea African Korea Foreign Ministers meeting and a summit na se ne pe and now yes and the way back home omo making sure say omo are reaching an agreement say be omo buy na they will just sign and then exchange documents a back with a visa waiver no na che say ye de akoye nim tie no any update de mamuti e he nimu say ordinary passport holders, that is the next step of this particular visa waiver na ya he say South Korea Ghana for to na betimi akopie mu ho na omo akwakodi djuma ewo South Korea. And that is the update coming in from the Foreign Affairs Minister. Na ya be London and say enra and President John Dramani Mahama Asia Ghana for London and all diaspora town hall meeting amount for bebrebe thousands of Ghanaians and register yes on could be President John Dramani Mahama could be in 1 or 2p na no na World Cup no President John Dramani Mahama ebi mu bisa in some say sign na ye kono Ghana ye niema ya hoboa ene ade te say or say ye mfa supporters bi anko eno ye one na omo ede omo be kono me boso de akire mo na ne nyina ne say feeding cost of transportation, any ticketing, any hunia menyina okekabo ma nipa ba ko ye $11,000 o se Ghana ye nduru sa ti wo do check ha nipa san ne betimi do o makwa o betimi afele a quarter of a stance kakra bi kra no nipa san ne betimi do o makọ enti pam no twa no ye nyanko emom ye behwe se omo matete supporters union for no omo ne ani omo be dili na omo atimi akọ. Then the other side of it Ghana for do na empo omo mo Ghana ha bi mu ani age and they say we still have Ghanaians out there support. So let's do something for those in the diaspora who is willing to go and watch the games. And then some President John Dramani Mahama did to anyhow. Are we representing ourselves in the upcoming World Cup? Yanko, President John Dramani Mahama, Yemra Sisi.
The Black Stars. It will be difficult to take our supporters from other domain. We are restricted because of the nature of this particular World Cup. It's being held in 3 countries, and we're playing our first match in Canada, and then moving to Boston, from Boston to Philadelphia, and the cost of transporting, feeding, accommodating each supporter is, beyond our means. We say we are being fiscally disciplined. We cannot, spend our money in that manner. The cost approximates for each person to be fed, accommodated, transported, and all that, to watch the games, tickets, and all that, is estimated at almost $11,000. And so, how many can we take? So, we're concentrating mainly on the supporters' unions. They have a tradition of following the team to different places. They've been here to the UK, they've been to Germany, and they are registered members of the supporters' union. But what we're doing is we are procuring tickets for Ghanaians in the diaspora who want to attend the games. And so if you want to attend the game, you will get a ticket to attend the game. And so we have organized our chapters, our Ghanaian citizens in Boston, in Philadelphia, in Canada. And so the tickets that we have purchased, we would give to them to be able to watch the match. If any of you want to travel across and get tickets, I think that there's a way we can manage for you to get tickets to watch the games.
That is President John Dramani Mahama and Samo the two jaw. Chirimwa, a cabo. You better too much into the I say, Ben say, or more US, Canada. Omo ne beka omo nyina bom enti omo ene beye the normal Ghanaians omo kwakọ hwe Ghana ball ni bi aside one kasa wo sika a wabobo ho se obekọ no wo de obetimi akọ na mom se Ghana ba me fa ho ka de bi ne mom be hwe supporters union no how obetimi abobo mu so ano ede omo akọ because omo de omo ta di team nechi baby a team ne be ko bi omo de akire eti how they do their things no they know so they have a way on be ya ebetimi aye seamless ebe ye mre ede ama aban ti omo de yes omo betimi the supporters union no bi akọ na Ghana form akọ support will be the people in the diaspora, people in US, in Canada omo boa so omo come nyina bom na omo to ticket mom ede ama omo na omo akọ hebo ni bi. No mass travel sponsorship for World Cup. President Mahama opts to give diaspora tickets. Instead, this is me making I say way good news because we still have a lot of Ghanaians out there. Omubeti mi akwa hebo no ewo stadiums no enti yanko na yanko mana yensa mete jamefe committee bia bi ose mu ko hwehwe mu eden na mo de nipa se there bi enti aban no say they are being fiscally disciplined enti sa ne ma no omo so ama aboa Ghana ye nyina ye to so na ye de update no e de amamwa Ghana form UK town hall meeting ya say no mko piem ewo meeting ni hobby na omo de omo anko inside omo gina court down ho na omo totobo oba park no so omo say omo ye demonstration and say omo say omo ntiase President John Dramani Mahama enche bia ya say o de daman mining sites no ama engineers and planners o de ama unua na your friends and family near the the very first part omo anom kuta megaphones near the theater mu no omo so omo ntiase aban na President John Dramani Mahama aban na obu Ghana ha no omo ani nje ho e ma ne mfa aban japade me mani nua mo ne ade mfa ho ne se o merit ana o merit no enye sa na omo pese omo hu aban no enti be ko ne akotie the very first part omo na omo de voice omo tiem kasa pese president ente ewo inside ho yenko na yenhwe video we ni emra sese
chairman o yeah my name is baby no
for the MPP and they realize oh I'm not happy with this person or whatever the condition was. So that is why you were able to become a president. We are telling you, we are putting it to you. We want you to know that you can't give all the mineral resources to your brother.
Yes.
You can't do that. All the mineral resources in our country have been given to your brother. The gold, the diamond, the minerals, everything. You give it to your brother. We are here to let you know. Please go back and correct things that you are not doing it. You are not doing it right. That is how we want you to do, and that is what we want you to be as a president. Ghanaians, we support you. We support any government that comes to the throne, but we want the right thing to be done. So, like I'm saying, everybody wants the right thing to be done. It's not a part that when MPP was in power, NDC was demonstration. So the MPP had to also demonstrate when NDC is on power. No. The reason is what are you doing? And is that good or bad? That is the most important thing.
Thank you.
I have Madam Welfare here with me, and I know he understands exactly what is going on, and being a welfare woman, he knows what goes on in each family or whatever, and try to do something better for them.
Thank you.
What do we say? We are not here because we don't have anything to do. We are here because our country, our motherland, our Ghana is being used.
Omo koye demonstration e wo town hall meeting nase no na yete omo nsem ni bi omo di tudwa enti ensem de omo di bebre tudwa o hwe placards ne so a omo akyerɛkyerɛ niema bebre na omo edi gugu placards ne so a omo de kyerɛ President John Dramani Mahama ebi mo so kasa de kyerɛ President John Dramani Mahama yekoya ekotie bi no na town hall meeting ya se na demonstration ekoso inside the na nsem ekoso pa na obi ebisa President John Dramani Mahama say na ensesi ye hu videos bebre nsuo toya na ahayiri nkran flats ekoso nsu yiri ekoso wo nkran ha no edien pa na ban mo ya fa ho na dien nkran de kofa ba President John Dramani Mahama de nsem tudwa o say amanfo dodo na wate se omo bo engineers na chi and engineers na ti yesi dan no hu and o se ni nyina nya engineer asem ni nyina ye discipline. President John Dramani Mahama says some Ghanaians and our Ghanaians are indisciplined. They know and ama flats ye in crime especially na ono di ohun say ye boat ye hunia ye discipline with our building any structures are sisia e betimi aboa o se free man pon be pon so ensu e beto nyina teneba be fan crime ansana kogu punim enti se streams dodo na e won crime ha no se mosisi dan e de asisi kwan na ebede na nso na timi atena kogu punim before you realize na amount for them nso akwa kogu enti President John Dramani Mahama de tudwa say Ghanaians are being indisciplined enti na yehu flood a yehu na nya engineer for asembia yenko ne enti President John Dramani Mahama na yemra sisi.
The flooding in Accra is not an engineering problem. It is just a problem of indiscipline. It's not an engineering problem, it's a problem of indiscipline. We have drains, and everybody says, why don't you do sealed drains? But the problem is when we do sealed drains, people drink sachet water, they eat papaya in those styrofoam plastics, and they just dump them anywhere. And these plastics wash into the drain, and they go and block the drain. And so if you have to unclog the drain, you have to remove all the drain covers and clean it out. You clean it out, you cover it again. In the next 3, 4, 5 months, they have clogged again. But that is not even the major problem. The major problem is the location of Accra. You have the Kwapim mountain range and you have the Atlantic Ocean. Before people came to Accra, you had the Lafa stream, you had the Densu, you had the Sakumo stream, you had the Kole stream, you had the Odo stream. All of them were rainwater that falls in the mountains that flow through to the Atlantic Ocean. Then you come and build a city in the path of those streams. What do you expect the streams to do? And even if you build, leave the causeways. If you come to London, you see the canals in the city. If you go and build a house in that canal, where will the water go? It will go back into people's houses. Unfortunately, Nanan Misremu, our traditional rulers are selling plots in streams. It's not this Nananum I'm talking about. We have places they call Ramsar sites. These Ramsar sites are wetlands. And they say that migratory birds come from Europe during the winter. They come and spend vacation with us in Africa. Then when they finish the vacation and it's summer, they fly back. And they decided to protect the Ramsar sites because of the migratory birds. But let me tell you what the Ramsar sites do. They are wetlands. So when they receive the water from the Kwapim mountain range, the Ramsar sites are huge wetlands. So they absorb the water into the wetlands and discharge the water gradually into the ocean. So if you build and you fill and build, you fill and build, you fill and build, you are reducing the size of the Ramsar site, of the wetland. And so when the water comes, what is left cannot contain the water. And so it will overflow and flood people's houses. I've seen from the air, helicopter, a stream coming from the Kwapim range. And then it reaches somewhere and they've built across it. And so the stream has nowhere to continue. So it will flood your houses and flood houses of people behind. Now when government takes action and begins breaking people's houses out of the waterway, the same people will say, hey, that's our problem.
All right, floods are koso ewon kran ha say enchiremuna na President John Dramani Mahama edi aba no say the indiscipline among Ghanaians and amasa na we nyina koso in as much as we still need to build city, we have to care for the environment as well. Enti wuntimi mesi dan enfen see the way of the stream na enka se wo betena ho na watena ho asomdwe mu da bi ensuo de wuntimi ni nsuo enko enti sana mo be ne dia amanfo so dan ebe yire eduru se ye bubu dan so a na amanfo aba na obi dan fefefe na ade enti eno ne nsem a odi tu dwa osan so bo na no machi se onimpa se ha ye nsuo mo so still on beton asase ne de amao enti eno so ade a ha adwen especially Ramsar site a ina se ye tisi ye bubu dan wo ho ne ade ni nyina aka ho bi enema flats no ekoso ewo Ghana ha President John Dramani Mahama ede etu dwa enti ye hwe se anamo be ni betu because see a 1st June ye wo mu July yin so ekoi nya ne ntie se nsuo no so de ebe top nti anamo ben ena aban etu ede afa ho nti yenhwe baabia ne nyina ebekwa kosi nti town hall meeting with the diaspora, people in the diaspora here in London ena yekokoti ensem ni bi afri hoba ebi mu ye demonstration no na ebi mu so wo insider omo edi juma said se ene efata. And yes, you can see some of the people who were demonstrating against the president time na ono town hall meeting no enti nsem ne de president di bi atudwa papa ama ye nyina yakọ na yakọ akotie bi enti ebe free London ni abagana ha ne ade nsem no atwa so ede amamo na emza yebekọ weekend no na ebetuto dwam from mu say yaji LGBT bill na tum yaji atum amamfo dodo na omo ani beji ye na Reverend Intim Fojo ono ene da screens ne so no o se there be bill na omo presented the call ye no enye no na yakọ omo atum no eji on your screens was newly passed anti-gay bill 6 to promote LGBTQ+ instead of stopping it. Reverend Ntim Fojo, lead sponsor anti-LGBTQ+ bill. Or say bill la yakja atum se sie no enye eno and omo de present call first no na omo share president former president and Akufo-Addo so on sign no and so ye demu no eso papa because the omoaji atum se sie hu say the former president John Dramani Mahama ama na sign no eno no omo yiyi niema ni bia from some key provisions omo eye wo previous bill ni mu no omo yiyi from na ordinance sam tudwa yebekọ yebebo niema ni bi omo yiyi from no be ba ko mienu bi di akyerew na what exactly has been removed in the new bill and was in the old bill. Yanko nientie Reverend Ntim Fojo ni emra sisi
na nkofo bia mpo ni wo mu hit sabe LGBT mu se safo na shechire no na wo mu aye mpo de ye mo 3 years jail ana say access to 5 years data ukochi obi mpo so wo ya ono na oye no say a man only 3 years ana say a man 5 years na mo no nipa na ono shechire pomp sika gum organizing meetings and mark of officers salon don't kwa broche ebe mo no me mo lubricant bohu de road they correct you so TikTok ni ade e man ya akono no ye mo 10 years no yen sign na mo ba ya wa be cancel sanfo na wo mo na hihye kire no ye yi wo mo nsi nche ne ye mo ho ban na za mra na wo say no wan sa ma Ghana fo me mra na wo say no wa sa ma UN fo wa sa ma one year one man on here one development partners and you donors now one bro sika no donors now wo jisika free wo ho no wo na wo sama wo ana wo suro wo enti na wu yi wo masi nchen say wo mo de mra no wo metumi akobo ehunda ru sample or your foreign donor or your NGO or your health worker or your lawyer or your journalist the oye bia no say or bo emra ne or bo LGBT hunda ru krampa ye no insane chain no man or above the law. Samra we na Ghana, almost on my pass here. Edimu a bobo. The air catcher Ghana for say. A man almost on my passing no, and yet the same as a man one. You're passing in 2024 no. Almost the son, almost she and Shagumu at to Musinina. A dibiana who one can one. Nanka o wadrin po bi se o kwapo ye bia ka be bo hu no atenase no o ma tutumi na afi mu e de fofra be wurewure mu akwa se wo be se mra e de tia amrobes na wo ya mra akoma amrobe first amroba fo mo am nkyere ye de hye mu a e be bo amo na mo de abrew na mo yi wo mo asi nkyere mo de protect mo ti mra no enye de e ba be to LGBT so rather no e de e ba be bo LGBT because senka e yakoma pa and na komo de ka de omo ka 2024 se de nyina ese wo yen sign bill no dia e ban se na mra kro ya yen nyina ese yen sign in 2024 no and na de NC force mra no nye enti yen delete nyoma mako 22 free mu ansa e mra na di mu NC for ya wo wo mu gina ho
eniema mako 22 aduonu mienu and according to Reverend Ntim Fojo omo ayi e free bill ni ma enti amano endi mu as compared to the previous bill na omo ede ekoma president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo former president no na enema omo ye free mu de bebre na me boba akoso akyerew ye we still have another video where ye beko akohwe na eno so Reverend Ntim Fojo na ekyere mu a now they are promoting omo me can say omo promote anti-LGBT no enti first bill no mo present ye no nenka wow promote wow betena ye TV so aso video esi so akasa fa LGBTQ+ ho o ye papa o me wo client wa ha say enka wo sa nipa no se ye kyew basisi no wow be promote LGBTQ+ our platforms on ade no wo ye nkyew ye beja o donors omo poade nuro ba ne ade mo no ye nkyew na emom wow ye beche so wo ya ankasa no emum na ye beche na ohwa na ekire se omo e back LGBT na ankasa omo afọ omo ho adi e na omo practice no e na bill no e target omo na omo de na nya sa na nkomo pe no da bi omo mienu nyina empo no de o promoting no so komu more than the because you ye de oni pe ni kokoro mi se wa ya ma o ya yare nti ne de na me se wo fom kakra dan omo omo promote no ni nyina omo se omo ayi afrim ti yenko ye ba ye the next one being so ebesa de amamo hospital de bi ni ade de be mamo enti yenko ne nti Reverend Ntim Fodjo the bill promotes men can say promoters no than LGBT for nankasa yenko ne nti Reverend Ntim Fodjo ne mra sisi
not represent this bill that does not represent the aspirations of the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians. Why? Because just next week Tuesday there is going to be a conference on family values in Ghana. Ghana is going to host it. So they want to hurriedly pass this bill and remove all the items in it that we passed in the last parliament, which the NDC did propaganda and wanted President Kufuor to sign, which same provisions, even when we first introduced the bill, the majority leader indicated that the same thing should be given to President Mahama to sign. President Mahama and everybody came by and said, no, the bill cannot come. We have to pass it through process again. So why are they deleting and watering down the very bill we brought, which we consulted the clergy, we consulted all the communicable bodies, Christian Council, GPCC, Catholic Bishop Conference, Association of the Charismatic Churches, the Islamic community, every faith-based organization was consulted. The traditional rulers were consulted, and the wide consultation agreed that the biggest problem is on the promotion, the sponsorship, the advocacy, and those subtle supports. Because if left for the act itself, the Criminal and Other Offences Act make provision for natural carnal knowledge, which will prosecute anyway. But we said that no. Every time for the past years, the advocacies done by certain organizations, certain foreign organizations who want to force down their practice on us, they will go and hire premises, they will call it resource centers, then we'll call national security to clamp down on them. We've been doing so since 2017, since I entered this parliament. Those are the very people sponsoring non-LGBT people to openly campaign and sit on media to campaign and make it attractive. Those are the activities we are clamping on. The media houses who offer their platforms to promote such activities and make it enticing for young people to get into it. Those are the real targets of the law. So
Reverend Ntim Fodjo ena yekotie ne nsem odi tudwa na ne nsem o kan ni nyina no ne tofabo mu ene se omo target anaso omo bill omo de call first pa ne de command na do don ko Kufuor sen ko sign no na the major omo call edit omo pa omo sponsor LGBT omo share kire organizations any platforms omo tena ba bi ekasa ma de no ya akono e ma manfo ye bi no omo ena na omo target omo say nka omo ebetimi jai because omo jai the act itself there me can say boni wagana hadada now omo share kire man ya akono. Some people are being sponsored to go into these acts almost na omo target omo but see emra na eba ye no eji sanfo no nyina sinchen ama omo nyina afo omo ho adi ena omo di new bill akoto ababeji atum na say china de due ya family act meeting bi be koso enti omo person omo ya no omo pass bill no say de be ya e beti omo anim kakra say o empo omo pass bill no but enye content omo hwehwe ne wom no enti omo de omo agitum saa enye ye. And at the other side of it, na yesi ukoye bi na ukoyare bi a wakoye yerisa niema LGBT gay ni niema bi ama wayare oto asai sebe wachi bebia asai ahoma ni nyina mu atete obekọ hospital obese yensa oyare a saafo no nanka yenyimo ensa mo yare yenye hu se wo niema wo ye na ma oyare ya yensa oyare ba se sie no bill na agba no tiremu a se ukoye bi na ukoyare na ukọ hospital a yenhwew. Enti previous bill no wo sa no nke enhwew eno yade e be detail na e be bu osuro se obekọ akoye basisi no o yare a ebetimi ahwew ni nyina aka ho bi na Reverend Ntim Fodjo se da bi omogi tum sa enye ye enti omo ede omo ensem ede etudwa na omo say they have watered it down because eniema ema bill ni yehu no enyina motutu bill ni se motutu ni sin nyina na aka bill ni techrema ena mode ebregana for enti omo de omo agitumu esa enye ye enti bill no omo say it seeks to rather promote LGBT rather than stopping the LGBT itself. And Jebesa Cornier Reverend Tim Fojo, Ninsem Fofra Sa Kafa Bill no na Yaba CCA.
That the bill appears, and not only appears, substantially has lost the force and the bites and the thrusts, the deterrence, the efficacy that it contained and carried in 2024. Now, long story short, from the mantra of sign the bill now, sign the bill now, the same people who sign the bill now are saying delete, amend, and insert the bill before assent. Why the change? Ladies and gentlemen, it is very serious what we are going to reveal to you, because all of us know that for 66 years now, since 1960, same-sex marriage has always been criminal. Not so. Man cannot marry man since 1960. According to the Criminal and Other Offences Act in 1960, for 66 years, a woman cannot marry a woman in this country. For 66 years, homosexuality is criminal. And so it is already in our laws. Homosexuality, a man cannot have sex with a man. And all that is already in our laws. So, if you look at the watered-down bill that they have passed and what was already in our Criminal and Other Offences Act, the question is, what new mischief did they seek to cure? We all know that the only mischief that has been the concern of Ghanaians and we sought to cure through legislation and through the private members bill was to clamp down on promulgation, on promotion, on advocacy, on sponsorship, on support, on enabling, on creating the environment, clandestine avenues, the very people, agencies, foreign donors, and the quasi state house, and other individuals, professionals, and groups of people, which we all know, make the promotion and advancement and the advertisement of LGBT most acceptable. Those are the real canker, and that is what legislation sought to cure. And so in the bill that was passed, when you read the portion, the object of the bill is sought to clamp down on promotion, advocacy, and such things.